Okay, so I got the weather report wrong. Sue me, all right? I looked at the wrong weekend and the temperatures were still hot, even though I said they weren't going to be. All right, fine. Chalk that. What, are you going to kick me out of the Nerd Hall of Fame because of that? Whatever. Good morning again, Daniel Valdez. Again, it's a pleasure and honor to talk to you. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. The much anticipated Cherry on BOA North Texas / Prosper Regional is here. We've got a lot to talk about. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. It's the middle of the week, Tuesday, whatever. So let's go over the contest. Let's look at exactly what happened, and let me tell you why, and I'll tell you why in a little bit, why I love contests like this. And let's start this off. First of all, thank you all so much for tuning into the live blog. Mr. Sanchez, GOAT status over there. He's the best. We love him to death. Great job from him over at live.txbands.com. Thanks for tuning on at BOALive.tv. And if you were in the stands, I hope you enjoyed a fantastic, wild regional in the state of Texas. Let's talk about it. Let's go after it, folks. Congratulations to the incomparable Marcus High School Band with an 87 flat. They are the 2024 Bands of America North Texas Regional Champions. Yes, it is music. Yes, it sounds gorgeous. Yes, they are playing a million notes even on the move, which is incredibly difficult to do, and they are starting to pull it off very, very well. Let's look at the results. Congratulations, 12th place Rockwall High School getting into finals. Congratulations to them. 11th place Lone Star capping off a finals performance in Bedford. Now they're back here at Prosper. Congratulations to them. Lone Star, let's go over the scores real quick. Rockwall in 12th place, 77.45, 79.45 for Lone Star. Braswell enters the chat, 79.55. Keller Central, nice bounce back performance, 80.05. Mustang High from Oklahoma, 80.15. LD Bell, another 2 for 2 right there, 81.75. Wiley enters the chat, 83.50. And speaking about entering the chat, Southlake Carroll with a very impressive performance here, very impressive showing, 84.15. Prosper High School, 85.75 in 4th place. Bentonville from Arkansas, and I tell you they were the best Arkansas has to offer. Yes, they definitely proved it. 85.75. They tied, but the tiebreaker whenever you have these ties is the higher general effect score. Therefore, Prosper's in 4th place. Bentonville officially awarded 3rd place. Wakeland High School, 86.95, and then Marcus with an 87. Let's repeat that for just one more moment, because you may not have heard me correctly. Wakeland in 2nd place with an 86.95. Marcus with an 87. Yes, .05 decided this contest. It was that close, and it was deservingly that close. My goodness, what an insane event. Let's look at the caption awards. Outstanding music went to Marcus. Visual was a tie between Wakeland and Marcus. And then outstanding general effect went to our friends from Arkansas, Bentonville High. Congratulations to them taking general effect in finals. Let's take a look at the prelims awards. Class 4A, Marcus was in 1st place. 2nd place was Prosper. Bentonville in 3rd place. In Class 4A. Class 3A, Wakeland 1st place, Lone Star in 2nd, and Keller Central in 3rd. Class AA, Liberty High wins their first place performance there. Congratulations to them. Grapevine High in 2nd place, and Coweta out of Oklahoma in 3rd place for Class AA. In 1st place, Commerce High. Congratulations to you all, Class A champions at this regional. Whitesboro in 2nd, and then Washington High from Oklahoma in 3rd place. Looking at the caption awards, Commerce High swept Class A. Class AA, music and visual went to Grapevine. Liberty won general effects. Class 3A, Wakeland swept it. Class 4A, Bentonville won music in prelims. Marcus takes visual and general effect and eventually won Class 4A and eventually won the regional championship later on that evening. So, yes, let's talk about this contest. Was it the way you thought it was going to go? How did you have this chalked up? Go ahead, I'll give you a couple of seconds to answer. Yes, this is one of those contests. I told you it was going to be highly competitive, told you it was going to be one of those crazy events, and that's exactly what happened. This happens from time to time. There are regionals, and Bands of America keeps adding more regionals. Guess what? Things are going to happen just like this. There's more opportunity for the unexpected to happen. Now, who's to determine what is expected and what is unexpected? Well, if you look at past results, you may have a notion, you may have some sort of rhyme or reason to determine who's going to do well and who's not, or whatever. Now, here's the thing about these events that are happening in the marching band world nowadays. There is great parity now in this activity. There really is. More programs are starting to put things together. More programs are starting to figure this out. And they're starting to put out some really, really good performances. So, I mean, I don't think any of us saw a tie happening in finals. I don't think any of us saw that margin between 1 and 2 being so close. By the way, well deserved. Wakeland is probably the best band you've never heard of. They are fantastic. They are good at everything that a marching band should be. They play well, they move well, they dance well, they design well, they connect with the audience well. They're always entertaining shows. So this is not something out of left field. The people in the know, the people that really pay attention to this activity, know how good they are. Just as like they know how good these other programs are too. So, yes, I understand this is one of those wild contests where, how often do you have a program win general effect in finals and then end up tied for third? How often do you see a tie for a visual? How often do you see how often do you see new programs in finals? That's starting to happen more and more and more, which is great. I love when stuff like that happens. It's really, really refreshing, and it makes the entire activity that much more interesting. And it shuts up all the people who say, well, it's the same programs who win every single year, and there's nothing you can do about it, and whatever. I hate that argument. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. Because you're discounting a lot of really good programs that have the opportunity to rise up. And that happened this weekend, and I'm down for that. I'm so down for that. This is why I like contests like this. When you have results that are unexpected, when you have results, when names are called out and people are gasping. I mean, you should have heard the crowd on Saturday night. You should have heard the crowd gasping, oh my gosh, oh, I didn't know this was going to happen. Oh my gosh, what a tie. How does this happen? I love stuff like that. Here's why I love contests like this. Because it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call for everybody who went to that contest, especially for the programs and finals. If you achieved something that you had never achieved before and you're starting to enjoy success that your program's never been able to achieve, that is a wake-up call. Because now you have momentum. Now you start to believe. Now you really start to believe. And not just on social media. Yeah, I said it. There's something about buying into what you are doing, truly buying into what you are doing, instead of just clicking the like button every single time. There's a difference. There's a substantive. There's some substance to that. And programs that learn that quicker than others, those are the programs that are going to rise up. Those are the programs you're going to start seeing get into finals, getting into top half of finals, or even go for a podium placement or whatever. It's a wake-up call for those programs that are starting to achieve that success. It's great. I love that. On the other hand, if maybe you didn't receive a result that you didn't necessarily agree with, or hey, we should have been higher, or we shouldn't have been beaten by this band, or we shouldn't have been beaten by that band. Guess what? That's a wake-up call too. It's like, no, this is the reality of it. It's time to shut up and get to work. This is your wake-up call. We're already starting UIL region contests. It's already happening. In 2 weeks, we're going to have area contests for 5A. In 3 weeks, we're going to have area contests for 6A and the odds and the evens and everybody's. Before you know it, this season's going to be over. And the last thing I want performers to have is any sort of regret. Oh my gosh, I wish we had paid attention earlier in the season so that way we could have worked harder or anything. No. Eliminate that. This is everybody's wake-up call. Contests like this, when you have results that are out of the ordinary, and nobody knows what to make of it, and we're trying to justify why things happen and why they didn't. Guess what? It doesn't matter, because this is the reality of it. So the response is on the performers. The responsibility is on the performers to put that aside and use that as motivation. You have a couple of weeks left in the season. It's time to move forward. It's time to use that wake-up call for something positive. We can sit here and dwell on the results, and we can cry and weep, and we can do everything about those results. We can do that until the cows come home. We can do that every single day, but it's a waste of time. You don't have a lot of time left in the season. You don't. That's the reality of it. So use this as your reality check. Use this as motivation. You have to. You owe it to your friends that you suit up with every Friday night, every Saturday night. You owe it to them to make this thing work at any cost, at whatever you have to give 1,000% effort now. I love contests like this because it wakes everybody up. It tells everybody, this is how it is. What's your response? What are you going to do with that information? It's up to you. It's on you, performers. Kiddos, this is on you. You get to determine. This is your life. This is your performance. This is your artistic expression. You get to determine how you end the season. Not necessarily results. I'm not talking necessarily about results, because we know that, anything can happen any given Saturday. So, but what you have control over is putting all the effort you possibly can into perfecting your craft. That is your responsibility. You owe it to your friends. You owe it to your parents and everybody who supported you, who donated money and who drove you to practice and gave you the orange slices and bought the uniforms and did everything they possibly could to make sure that this experience was a positive one. But you have to contribute too. You get a say in how this season ends. So what are you going to do with the information you were given Saturday? What are you going to do with all the information you've been given so far this season? The time's now. Now is the time. The season's going to end in a couple of weeks. Now, unfortunately, it's going to end sooner for other programs. How are you going to handle it? From now on, this is it. Your season is your season. It's time to get after it. It's time to move forward in a positive manner. And it's time to put everything aside. You have to put this thing together. There is no other option. So get out there and do it. And I can't wait to cheer you all on. What a fantastic regional. I love regionals like this. I love it. It's awesome. It's a wake-up call. Because it's time to go. It's time to put everything together. It's time to perform. And it's time to achieve greatness. Folks, I'm done here. Thank you so much for listening. I really, really appreciate it. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.